Hello. Welcome back to Society of Secretly Perfect Poets Live Poetry Sunday. Um, my name is Angelique at From the Breath of Daydreams, and I am about to read some poems for a Mission Impossible. Dun 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 dun. I'll just sing until the Overlord gets in the room. Da da dum, da da dum. That is something that we do at the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets each Friday. There's the Overlord. VJHD Writer is in the chat room moderating for anybody who comes in. And so each Friday at the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets on Instagram, we release a secret prompt. It can be all manner of things. It can be a picture prompt. It can be a themed prompt. It can have to do with some kind of an important cause that we think is important. It can have to do with an event that's going on. It really can be just about anything, but it is only shown and given to society members. And we think that's kind of cool, but they're always quite interesting, and it's always really neat to see what members write to it if they choose to accept it. So that is what this is. Mission Impossible. And so we are the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets. Enter all who seek meowrific community values. Friendships shall be found amongst the paw prints of poetic ink. And so last Friday, let me get a drink here. Last Friday, the society members' mission, should they choose to accept it, was to write a piece using one of the pictures provided. And if you want to see what those pictures are, once these are posted, you can go over to Instagram and they will be posted up there. And after the live, I'm going to make myself a note here. I will put them in the community board on YouTube so that y'all can see what they are. Forgot I could do that. So the members had to write a poem, prose, or short story using at least one of those pictures. And then the theme is time travel. They had to write a short story or a poem using the image provided, and it must be about time travel and include some kind of paradox. Draw from the image as much as possible in the first person. 16-line minimum, at least 3 words per line to count. No reposts. But what if they want the golden ticket, you're saying? Well, if they wanted to go for the golden ticket, they had to write 2 pieces instead, one for each of the images, but write them as characters who are traveling in time in the wrong order towards each other, crossing each other's paths at different points, out of order. 12-line minimum with a 3-word per line minimum. That's very cool. And in fact, we had 3 different people write to this prompt, and 2 of them went for the gold ticket. So I'm looking forward to reading what they wrote. And so the first piece that went for the golden... Tommy's back. Hi, Tommy. I didn't know if you'd come back or not. You sometimes come back for the others and sometimes don't. So, welcome back. So this first piece is written by, I'm sorry, I'm doing the times aloud to make it easier. So this first piece at 4:50 is written by broken_blue_pen. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, he got a golden ticket. You like my new backdrop? Thank you. I'm a bit embarrassed about it. I don't like people seeing in my office, but it's more open, you know? And I didn't like being closed off. So I just said people can see my fairy tale place. Um, so thank you, Tommy. Um, so this is broken_blue_pin, and it's called Of Night Ships. He was just here, but wait, I was here first. I can feel his energy. It's a longing, lingering gently in this moment. Yet I have arrived first. How can the presence of love's shadow tower over time as if it is the dominant force, as if time is irrelevant? Precious moments disappear as if they never were. I got here first, finding myself last, arriving just moments too late, except I'm right on time to collect passion's true treasure, my true love's hand. So how am I empty-handed with nothing but time to blame? Whew, Blue, that just makes your mind wibble wobble. And I like your title of Night Ships, so like ships passing in the night. My favorite line in this would be, how can the presence of love's shadow tower over time as if it is the dominant force? That is a curious line. Tommy's giving you the purple hearts. Very curious line. How can the presence of love's shadow tower over time as if it is the dominant force? So that means time is more important than love? Oh, I don't know about that. But I do like the line. Contemplation time. No time to contemplate. But that means we're moving on because Blue wrote 3 poems, I believe, right? Yes, 3 poems. And so for his second poem, also a golden ticket, he wrote Of Night Ships 2, T-O-O. Damn it, it's only her shadow. She was here just mere moments ago. No, wait, I am here first. Shall I wait for her arrival, or has she gone? I know she was just here. Her French fries are still hot. I see the purple trail. She is pursuing me across time. So how can my pursuit be behind her? I arrived in her youth before her, just moments behind her. But I was first, so how can I be late? I'm confused because her essences hang hauntingly in my present, just beyond this moment, or behind this moment. I'm here, heart open and longing for her, greeted by silence of her passing, just beyond the shadows of love. I wait in time, of time, for time, with time, in true love's fleeting moment. Ooh. You brought in the whole shadows of love again. We're going to have to ask you what shadows of love are, Blue. I think my favorite is in the line. I like how he played with it at the end where he said, I wait in time, of time, for time, with time. And Tommy's giving the purple hearts and says, beautiful, Blue. And Ash says, fire. Yeah, I really like this. Very playful in his wording, in both of them, back and forth. Really messing with the perception of time and really using word tense to create that paradox. The poem traveled, Ash says. Yes, it definitely traveled, and traveled really well. I like that. I like that. Good job, Blue. I also like the line, oh, where was it? One moment. I'm confused because her essence hangs hauntingly in my present, just beyond this moment. My present, just beyond this moment. Very clever, Blue. Uh, that just makes you kind of pause and go, ooh. So I like that. And we have one more from him. And this is called Inventive Travels. Inventive Travels by Broken Blue Pen. The beginning of the end has brought me to this moment. Humankind has invented an account of now, of then, and of tomorrow. They call it time. They cannot comprehend that there only is not. Accounting for the tempo of being is the only thing that allows their feeble minds to accept that which is. They don't understand that my freedom to exist in all realms at any given point is because my mind is not trapped by their measuring. They label me time traveler. In truth, I have let go of their concept of linear past and present. It allows me to be here. It allows me to be there. It allows me to be everywhere because there only is. Because there only is not. No backwards, no forwards, no left, no right, no downs, no ups. Only ebbs and flows of now. Frenzied moonshine dance through all of life's mysteries offers unlimited knowledge, countless adventures, no sprint to the finish, birth not the beginning, death provides no end, for it is always and always has it been. Want to travel with me? Then just set your mind free. Ooh, Blue. I like this poem a lot. Or prose. That was really cool. I like the playfulness in the wording, but I also like the debate of what is time, what does time do in our minds. Tommy's giving it the purple hearts. This of the three is my favorite of your three, very much so. And I like the way that you go back and forth between these long lines that are really explaining and contemplating and philosophizing, and then go drop it down to like 2-word lines, 3 and 4-word lines that are also doing that, but much more directly and bluntly. Really beautiful. And if I have to pick a favorite line, I've got a few, but I'm going to go with frenzied moonshine dance through all of life's mysteries offers unlimited knowledge, because moonshine is intoxicating. So a frenzied, intoxicated dance through all of life's mysteries offering unlimited knowledge. Oof, is that not what, oh, that would be the way to live. That would be just like top tier, best wish of all wishes in the universe to be able to do that. So I like that line. Very cool line. Wonderful job, Blue. And congratulations on the golden ticket. Da, 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 da. Really good job. And the next, at 1438, we have From the Breath of Daydreams. That's me. And I did not get a golden ticket. No, I did not. And this is called The Vow of Discord. Sloth tilled this heart of rendered chill. a frigid fire ignited. For fate's cruel twist named me but swill, in a dreamscape twice contrited. For eons deftly swam have I, through nightmares bound in treason. Mistaken blood bade move that, starting over. The vow of discord. Sloth tilled this heart a rendered chill, a frigid fire ignited. For fate's cruel twist named me but swill, in a dreamscape twice contrited. For eons deftly swam have I, through nightmares bound in treason. Mistaken blood bade move thine eye, beyond abandoned season. Aristotia Discordia the 8th. I saw him for the first time in an image recorded upon a paper coated in silver halidide. His smile stopped me in my tracks. I didn't know what he was looking at then, but I knew I yearned for him to look at me with that same joy. Coordinates trickled beyond my posterior parietal cortex, and I vexingly chased after him with a corralling determination. We had learned that it was possible for our other half to be out of sync with our own state of flux, but never had I witnessed a stillness so immense within the riot of song. No, I thought, do not let me be that one. Allow me normality. Allow me to flicker into the distance unremembered. Let me know a savior. Let me know and savor his embrace for the few eons gifted us. Do not scribe me into a passage of forbearance to be lauded and romanticized by those notes yet to embark. Do not. I skip between the moments, a stuttering dust mote, barely a flicker before his eyes, but oh, what eyes to behold. I was held entranced. I bade time stop and just let me swim within the livid splendor. Grant me the lifetimes to discern each fleck of pigment fragmented with emotion. Scribe me the wonder that would ignite them into an all-consuming fire. Fates, let our melodies harmonize, please. Alas, if he noticed the disturbance, he hid it well. He's always hid it well. Perhaps fool he'd be not to, for rare is the chord bound to night's release. Our braid would devastate the cacophony into eager capitulation. Our passion would incline the docile half notes into a malleable whole. Our love would never be. Never is a very long frame within the song that does not end. It is long enough for truths to be forgotten and names re-recorded, but I won't let that stop me. Their rules demand I willingly lay mute so that sorrow might brew melancholia into a hypnotic civility. There is nothing civil about the slaughter of choice. There is nothing civil about the hopeless longing fading to a bleak acceptance within his gaze. Let them try to stop our harmonizing. I will trample every field in the bloody footprints of their treason. I will phase between the lines to keep him and all who came before and after safe. I will slaughter their passive neglect and demand they not dismiss my beating simply because I am but one. I will make them rue the day they stole my life, and I will see him returned. I saw him for the first time in an image recorded upon a paper coated in silver halidide. His smile stopped me in my tracks. I am Aristotia Discordia, the 8th refrain. I will blunt every note flat of its sharpness to keep the rhythm fluid, and mine and I will have our coda, or I will break time trying. And that is a rewrite of Discord. Favorite line. Tommy says, beautifully flowing writing. Purple hearts. Thank you, Tommy. Oh, and the Overlord clap for blues. I think my favorite, well, I actually like the whole silver halidide line just because Polaroids, but I think my favorite line would be that there is nothing civil about the slaughter of choice, because there's nothing civil about the slaughter of choice. Ash says civility gaze. The rules demand I willingly lay mute so that sorrow might brew melancholia into a hypnotic civility. And then, oh, no, you're talking about the other one. There is nothing civil about the hopeless longing fading to a bleak acceptance within his gaze. That's Ash's favorite line. Yeah, that one's nice. I like the whole three there because choice is an important thing and civility is often defined very incorrectly. Overlord's giving blue hearts and clapping. Thank you, Overlord. And so, and I also just like that I went with the music theme, because Discord and music, and I thought that was kind of cool. And next is the Overlord VJHD writer golden ticket boom at 22:05, and their first poem is called Stories and Pictures of You. The clock chimed 36 as I peered around and wondered how I ever made it this far. Rockabye, rockabye, everything's gonna be all right. I still visit our memories down that street about half a mile. Once in a while I smile. We saw our share of devils in this angel town. Seems like everyone here has a plan, but I still wear a frown when I smile, if you know what to say. Rockabye, 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 bye-bye. Look at the stars, how they shine, all yellow since you came along. I wrote a poem for you and it was called Yellow. I took my time of all the things I've done. You were no longer skin and bones, but stardust and diamonds. What a thing to do. Turn to the cosmos for time travel. It's all yellow without you here. Something beautiful was left behind. Time keeps playing forward. It's true. Look how I shine for you. Look how we shine for you both. Look at the stars. I know how they shine for me. Second chances. If I had a second chance, I would reach up and take your hand. I could grow old just to be old with you. Music and dance quietly in this life, stories and pictures of you, carrying it all again. Those other days were hard. But I was floating by in the river when you came back and pulled me out. My second chance would help us understand, dreaming your dreams of you. Dreams of you I dream. It's true. If you got a second chance, let's alter them all so time understands we are going in opposite directions. As I moved forward, you walked into the river and I just floated by. I could get old just to be old with you. I'm just floating by, floating by, floating. I filled the room with your voice as my heart expanded to the sound of my childhood. My days will always be tainted by sadness. the pages of my story singed with grief. Every memory colors all the pages of my future, whilst every day you never lived shines above me like stardust in an hourglass. I take my time now to keep from turning yellow. Time turns inward as it spirals one way for me, yet spins to a stop for you. Thank you for leaving your voice behind for me. Well, somebody likes Coldplay. What's the Coldplay thing, Overlord? Tommy says, wonderful ride, Overlord. Purple star. Purple heart, yes. Yeah, it is. I like the way you had some inner rhyme going there throughout it. And of course, I like the rockabye part. But also, it's just, you can feel that longing in it. Favorite line, though. And now you've earwormed me, so thank you for that. Well, for one, I like the 3 lines where you say, I'm just floating by, floating. But I think I'll choose that I was floating by in the river when you came back and pulled me out. And the Overlord says there were 3 songs, one by Sean Mullins, one by Coldplay, and one by my dad, all sung by my dad. It reads very lyrical. You can tell that there's songs within it. But I also like, thank you for leaving your voice behind for me. That's something really interesting about living in today's time, isn't it? I mean, when I was a kid, very few people had video recorders, and yet everybody who's grown up or been born like from the year 2000 forward has pretty much had their life recorded. Digital cameras and then the phones recording video. It no longer costs like $20 and $30 for 20 photos that may or may not be good or not. And so it's really interesting, I think, to see just how many photos people are having and videos people have taken of them nowadays. And so there's going to be so many images and voices that exist now past death for people to watch back and look at. And I wonder how that's going to change society in a way. Will it help people heal and move on from their loss more, or will it cause it to be around more? It's an interesting thing to contemplate. Overlord says, he said, you went into the river and I was floating by. He was singing about my brother dying. Oh. And I was so lucky that his musician ways left me with his recordings. That's very cool, Overlord. And Ash says, oh, good question. It's something I've wondered. It's something that I contemplate because, they say, that's my dad's line, floating by. Your second choice was me rewriting his line. Very cool. It's something I've wondered about because I don't really take photos of myself. Like, the only images that are floating around of me really right now or whatever's done on here. But whenever I get asked, like, for if I'm doing something for something, and they're like, you have to have this many headshots, or you need this, I'm like, or the worst one is, we want photos from your life. give us photos from your life of this, going back however many years. And it's like, I don't have any. And people don't accept that now because everybody has a bazillion photos, but I don't take photos really. So it's kind of strange. Overlord says, I struggle with not having much of my brother. I cope easier having so much of my dad to revisit. Really? It's an interesting, that's an interesting thing. I'm going to write that down. Talk about photos and death and coping. Because that's an interesting thing to contemplate and have a discussion over, I think. Really cool, Overlord. It's a good use of the prompt. And thank you for sharing something so private and special with us. And so for the second gold ticket poem, the Overlord wrote 12 Doors of Time, Part 2. Where do our memories go when we are busy? Can we take a stroll through the past when nostalgic? When I don't feel alone, is it my memory replaying in another realm? Should the hair stand up on my neck when the wind blows? Shouldn't I be able to converse with you as you watch me remember you? How could I be getting older when you are still the same somewhere? When did the candle blow out whilst I was thinking of you? Who holds your hand now when the world gets too much for you to bear? Couldn't tell if you were holding mine the day I got so much older when Dad died. Does time replay itself when I am daydreaming? Change the outcome for just a moment? What does it mean to say life goes on, but you are in a better place? Did the door you went through have a revolving feature? Ash says, totally there with you, Overlord. This one, I like all the questions in this. And this is clearly speaking of your brother. I think my favorite line would be, shouldn't I be able to converse with you as you watch me remember you? Because I like that juxtaposition of converse with as you watch me remember you. Very, very nice. And I just like the pondering of all these questions as well, because people wonder things like that, and I like that you put it to paper. And then they wrote one more poem, and this is called 12 Time Doors. I may be frozen in time, but I never left you. I have been by the doors listening. When you really needed me, your strength pushed through to me. When you were alone and hurting, I would suddenly be standing right by your side. I could whisper in your ear when the wind was gentle enough. I have seen you strolling through our memories, conversing like you know I'm there. Don't feel bad for getting older. I wouldn't have it any other way. I've spent a decade by your side. Every door you open, I find. It was always you holding my hand. I don't need anyone else. I was there the day Dad died. Your pain blew a hole through the heavens, and I walked right on through. I don't visit your dreams for another outcome, even for a second, and I know you wouldn't wake up. Life does go on, but I'm in the only place I want to be, watching over you. Your strength for me keeps the doors open. My love for you keeps me coming back. And Tommy's giving the hearts to you. And I'm guessing that this is written by your brother, in the voice of your brother. And I think it's beautiful in its reassurance. And I think my favorite line, I actually really like the last line. Your strength for me keeps the doors open. My love for you keeps me coming back. And Ash gives hearts and hugs. Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And thank you for writing such personal poems, personal prose to this, Overlord. I can tell you put a lot of contemplation and a lot of heart and yourself into them. And it's a really vulnerable position to place all of those questions and wondering and pondering onto paper like that and share it publicly. So I applaud that. Definitely worth a golden ticket or 3. Thank you so much. And thank you, Blue, as well, for writing, and thank you everybody who came and listened. These were gorgeous. And we have one more video that's going to be coming up, and that is the rest of the people who wrote the rest of the poems for the secret prompts that we read just before this one. So I hope you guys, I hope Ash and Tommy, y'all will come back and listen to their poems. And Overlord says thank you with teary eyes and a heart. You are welcome, Overlord. Really beautiful. And so I hope to see you guys there. And I hope you have a good night if I don't. We are the voices beyond the din. We are the cats who will always win. We are poets of imagination, creativity, and meow scratching alphabetical dexterity. We search for clues and hunt for treats. We base our prose on instinctual beats. We keep a sharp eye towards various causes. We attract certain types of poetic pauses. We have a propensity for finding the fun when not being studiously serious with puns. We are the voices above the fray, with safe space for those with something to say. See y'all in the next video. Bye.